We're going to take a look at the college football line moves for week 3. We'll start off with Central Florida and Louisville on Friday. Opened up 7, line is 7. The total's gone down from 71 to 67.5, 4.5 point line move on the under in the Louisville game. Maryland, Illinois actually opened up 2.5. Maryland is now 7.5 over Illinois. Total open 59, it's up to 60.5. Wouldn't be surprised if that game went over as well. Maryland can put up points. Their defense not so good. Michigan State, Miami on Saturday. Opener 6.5. It is 6.5. The total's down 6.5 points from 62 to 56 on the Michigan State game. Northern Illinois, Michigan opened 23. Michigan is now 27. Totals right there, 54, no line move. Connecticut Army, huge move on the under in this game. That was a major bet alert. UConn and Army under the total, 49. It only down moved to 48, but there was a big move on that game. Army opened 29.5, is up to 34. Big move on Army. UMass opened as a 29-point underdog, it's 22. Eastern Michigan opened 29, is down to 22. Total 54.5 to 56. Boston College Temple. Boston College opened 12, now 16 over Temple. And Temple just came off a big win, too, and a cover. Temple has a lot of injuries in this game, though. Virginia Tech, West Virginia, 3. Virginia Tech actually opened the favorite. Now West Virginia is -3. It's a 6-point line move on West Virginia. They were +3. Now they're -3. Total up 3 points, 47.5 to 51. Coastal Carolina, Buffalo. Coastal Carolina opened 7. It's 14. Huge line moves this week in college football. Coastal Carolina now 14 over Buffalo. Western Michigan, Pitt opened 8. Pitt's now 15. Nebraska, Oklahoma, 21.5. It's now 22.5. Total down from 66 to 62. Cincinnati, Indiana. Cincy opened 6, down to 4. That's a sharp move. Indiana got crushed last week against Iowa, and they're betting on Indiana early. New Mexico, Texas A&M. Texas A&M 22.5 is up to 30. 7.5 point line move on Texas A&M. Minnesota, Colorado. Minnesota opened 3.5, is now Colorado -3. That's a 6.5 point line move. Ball State, Wyoming. Wyoming opened 6. They're now 7. Total down from 57 to 53. Nevada opened up as a 2.5 dog against K-State. They're now favorite, -2. Total's down 6 points from 56 to 50. Purdue, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is open 10.5, down to 7.5 against Purdue. Total hasn't moved. Georgia Tech, Clemson. Clemson 29.5, moved to 28.5. Total is down 7 points, though, 59.5 to 52. 7.5 point total move on the Georgia Tech game. USC, Washington State. USC open 7, now 8.5. Total down 2 points from 64 to 62. Bama, Florida. Bama opened 9.5, now 14.5 from 9.5 against Florida. Total 53.5 to 60. So their early money is on Bama and the over again. Florida State, Wake. Wake opened 6.5, down to 5. Total is down 11 points, 72.5 to 61.5. Kent State, Iowa, 22.5 open. Staying right there, 22.5. SMU, Louisiana Tech. SMU opened 14.5. Early money's on La Tech again. You got a lot of money bet on them last week, plus the 23.5 against when they played Mississippi State, and they covered easy against Mississippi State, getting 23. So SMU opened 14.5, down to 13. Tulsa, Ohio State. Ohio State opened 30.5, down to 25. Baylor, Kansas. Baylor opened 15.5, goes to 18. The total went up 11 points from 38.5 to 49.5. Colorado State, Toledo. Toledo's 14.5, and that's where it is now. Northwestern Duke, no move. Georgia Southern Arkansas. Arkansas is 23.5, 52.5. Mississippi State Memphis, no line move there. Arkansas State Washington opened up 12 Washington. They're now 16.5. Total move from 54 to 57.5. Middle Tennessee State, UTSA. UTSA opened 7.5, now 13 over Middle Tennessee. Totals down 6 points, 65.5 to 59.5. Old Dominion Liberty, totals down 5.5 points from the open, 58.5 to 53. Marshall opened 7 against East Carolina, is now 10. And the over got hit as well from 53 to 58 in the Marshall game. Marshall destroyed Navy last week, 49-7. Troy Southern Miss, no move there. Florida International Texas Tech. Texas Tech opened 21 down to 20. Totals down 4.5 points from 58.5 to 54. Georgia State opened 8.5 over Charlotte, down to 4. Utah opened 7.5 over San Diego State, now 9. South Carolina, Georgia. Georgia opened 28, now 32 over South Carolina. Auburn, Penn State. Penn State opened 4, now 6. Utah State Air Force, and no move there. Open 8, it is 8. Virginia, North Carolina, open 9.5. North Carolina's down 9. LSU Central Michigan, 19.5, 19. UAB North Texas. UAB opened 15.5. Early money on North Texas. It's down to 11.5. Stanford Vandy, open 11 is 12. Rice, Texas. Texas opened 23.5, now 26. Tulane, Mississippi, no movement. Oklahoma State, Boise, no movement is 4. Arizona State, BYU. Their early money's on BYU, plus the points. Open 6. Arizona State is down to 4. UNLV, Iowa State. Early money on UNLV. Obviously, Iowa State looked horrible last week against Iowa. Iowa State opened 37, is down to 31 against UNLV. UCLA opened 14.5 over Fresno, down to 11.5. And Hawaii, San Jose State opened 6 and went to 7. A lot of major moves early, a lot of totals, a lot of big line moves this week in college football. Make sure you get the best of the number. Make sure you get our picks. We've been on fire. College lock of the week, 15-3, the last 18. Go to the website. You'll see it. You'll see all the games listed. 14-6 ATS against the spread in college football overall this year. Go to OTLsports.com. You'll pick up our college lock of the week, plus all the college plays for this week.